Hey everybody, PJ Riley, Lancaster Archery, out here to talk to you about the 2024 PSE Evolve DS 33 and 30. We've got a special test, special challenge for you. Let's get this thing sighted in. All right, so the PSE Evolve DS 33, that's what I have here. Very similar bow to the Fortis 33 from last year. Little shorter brace height on this. But so yesterday, I got this tuned, paper tuned it, got it shooting bullet holes back at the shop, got it sighted into 20 yards. So now we're gonna come out here. I'm gonna see how long it takes me to get it sighted in here. We're gonna start shooting it at distance. Then we've got a special challenge that we're gonna do with this bow just to see how it does. We've also got some tests that we're gonna do with it. Tell you about that when we get to it. But before we start here, what I can say, you know, this has the EC2 cam on it, which I like that cam. This bow right now is at 70.66 pounds and it draws nice and easy. Generally with a lot of the bows when I get, the first thing I do is take like 2 turns out just to, I'm gonna shoot it a bunch. 70 pounds on a lot of them is too much for me. This one, I just left it, 70.66. It draws really nice. So now we're gonna come out here and we're gonna shoot it at distance, see what it can do. All right, so we're gonna start here at 30 yards. I marked my top pin there at 20 so I don't forget, because I don't have a sight tape on this, so we're kind of winging this. So I'm just gonna guess here. I think that should be about 30 yards. Right on top of the dot. I should say that I set this because of one of the tests that we're gonna do later. I have the draw length set at 30 inches. Normally I'm 29.5, but for one of these tests I needed it to be at 30, so a little bit long, but my target bows I shoot at 30, so this doesn't feel uncomfortable. Yeah, we should be good at 30. I think this should be about 40. So this is the 33-inch bow. That's a length that I really like, especially for shooting long distance. And these PSEs have what they call the full draw stability system, where it resists torque at full draw. And you know, I'm no engineer, but I just know these things hold pretty darn well at full draw. That's one of the things I like about the PSEs. Just under it. That one went way high. There we go. Ooh, that was low. So maybe you're saying, why the heck are you doing this? Well, we started doing bow reviews. We used to just shoot them right up close. 5 yards. That doesn't really tell me anything about the bows. I like to come out here and see what they do at distance. Ooh, that's right. That's the right height. All right, we got a 60, or what we believe is a 60. Check out the finish on this bow. This is a new Cryptek Skyfall with these bronze cams on there. I think that's kind of cool. Bronze pockets. I kind of like it, but this is a new finish for PSE this year. Cryptek Skyfall. Kind of cool. I got to give myself a couple right clicks. Does anybody know how you remember which way you turn this? Every time I turn these things the wrong way. There we go. Clockwise moves the sight to the right. That was low. So low it hit in the wood. Hey, my left-right is perfect though. That was wicked low.
I think that's 2 now that you put in that thing.
Yes, I believe I have 2 arrows down in that bale. One from like a week or so ago shooting this. All right, let's go see what we got. All right, there she is. That's the one that missed. And as promised, this one is from maybe a week or 2 ago on another bow that we were shooting. So I'm leaving my mark here. I do want the knock. Let me steal that. But here's our group. So just gonna make a little adjustment there. But this is 80 yards. This is the first day I'm shooting at a distance. I'll take that, 80 yards. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 100 yards.
That sounded like wood.
It went right into the wood again. So that's not gonna work. So I should mention, say like, how come they're dropping so fast? These are 550 grain arrows. They weren't built to be especially heavy. It just turns out that they were heavy. I think that's about, if this makes it without the fletching hitting, I think that's about all I got. So let's see what happens here. I heard foam. All right. Hey, but before we go down there and before we finish our 100-yard challenge, we have a chronograph now, so we wanted to do some speed tests for you. Let's check that out. All right, so we got the Garmin Zero C1 Pro chronograph out here to do some speed tests for you, and I built the crazy arrow. This is an Easton Sonic 300 spine, and it weighs exactly 350 grains. So IBO speed rating is supposed to be, if you're shooting 70 pounds, 30-inch draw, it should be a 350 grain arrow. I keep saying IBO standards. It's actually ATA standard, 30-inch draw, 350 grain arrow at 70 pounds. So anytime you hear me say IBO standards, I mean ATA standard. Back to the video. So to do that, I didn't even know they existed. I actually had to put in a 50 grain point because the arrow, as I built it, came out to exactly 300 grains. 50 grain point top hat. That's where I got that one from. So this is the Evolve DS30 that I'm gonna shoot first. And this one has a much shorter brace height. I believe it's like just over 6 inches, a little over 6 inches. And it's 30 inches axle to axle. It maxes at 30 inches. So this one is gonna be the faster of the bows, obviously. It still has the EC2 cam, and we have it on 90%. The IBO speed rating for this is 340 feet per second. We're gonna see what we get at 90%, and then we'll move the let-offs to see if we can get to that 340 feet per second. So here we go. First shot with the crazy arrow. .338 on the dot. Remember, the speed rating of it is 340. 338 with the 350 grain arrow. And again, that's on 90% let off. All right, here we go. Shot 2. .338.1, pretty consistent. All right, let me get my hex wrenches and we'll move this let off. We'll just move it to the shortest. That would be, it's at 90%. We'll move it to 80%, see what we get. So we had 90%, 70 pounds, 30-inch draw, 338 feet per second. So now we're gonna be all that same, except we're gonna be at 80% let off. That's probably gonna shorten my draw length about 1/4 inch. Ooh, I can feel the let off difference. 338. Let's take a second shot. Didn't change anything. I would have thought the let off change would have added a couple feet per second, but no. 337.9, 338. So changing that let off from 90 to 80 did not affect the speed at all. So let's try the Evolve DS33 now. All right, we'll start a new session for this one. All right, now, remember this is 33 inches axle to axle, 7-inch brace height. So this one has an IBO speed rating of 335 feet per second. Same thing, we're right at 70 pounds, 30-inch draw length. 350 grain arrow. 326.6. So, but what we can point out is that the Evolve DS30, you know, it's maxed out at 30 inches of draw length. You know, we've talked before about how the rotating module, that your performance varies on the different settings. This one, the draw length goes to 31.5. So we are 1, 2, 3, so we're 4 positions short of max, or you add another 3 to get it to the max, because we're at 30 inches and it goes to 31.5. .323.4. Let's shoot one more. I was a little off to the side. 326 again, back there. So the last one I was off to the side just a little bit. You're supposed to shoot directly over this. But 326, it's got a 335 speed rating. Again, there you can see the difference in performance when the module is maxed out and when it's not maxed out. No. Okay, 100 yards. I think I have a good aiming reference. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, did you hear that? So where I have that pinned, there's the bottom of the dot, the normal dot that you would aim at. I am in the dot, so I am basically touching the bottom of that balloon. Oh. Go. That's to the right. Come on. That is there. There it is. So that was 4 or 5 shots, I think it was. So, hey, 100-yard challenge on the balloon there with a bow that I just set up yesterday. Don't have a ton of time behind it, obviously, but that's what you can do. PSE Evolve DS33. All right, guys, so PSE Evolve DS33 and the 30. Going to be a lot of similar technologies on there. These do come with the EC2 cam. That's a nice smooth drawing cam from PSE. It's going to have rotating modules. You know, the 33 on the EC2 cam is going to go from 26 inches up to 31.5. And on the 30, it's going to go from 24.5 up to 30 inches. So that 60, 70, 80, that's going to be for the Evolve DS33. On the 30, you know, this one does go down to that 24.5 inches. That's going to be shorter draw archers. You have the additional option of peak weight of 50 pounds. So 50, 60, 70, 80 available for the 30. Lots of options there for you bow hunters out there. Now, what are the similar technologies? So lots of things that we've seen on PSE bows in recent years. You're going to have that rotating module. You're going to have the adjustable let-off, 90, 85, 80%. You're going to have the PSE Easy 220 system. That's going to be your spacers in here that are going to allow you to move that cam left and right. Again, as we've talked about, they are clip-on spacers, so you do not have to remove the axle. Great system there from PSE. And then these bows are going to look very similar to last year's Fortis, 30 and 33 inches. Just some different brace heights. Of course, we have the new cable mounting arm right here. This is a fixed position cable arm with your rollers attached to the back. Engineers say that that is a lot easier on the limbs and cams. It doesn't put quite as much stress on it with that roller back here. And this arm, this cable arm. So what this is going to be is PSE has a quiver. We haven't seen it yet, but they're going to have a low profile 2-piece quiver that you're going to mount to this arm. So stay tuned for that. You'll get to see it. Both of them, sight options. You're going to have your Picatinny mount on the front, your standard threaded holes on the side if you got a standard sight. Rest options. You've got your burger holes. You're going to have the machined dovetail for the integrate style rests, and then drilled into that dovetail, you're going to have the 2 holes where you can then mount the Hamskea attachment. So basically any rest that's on the market, you'll be able to put on the PSE bows. And then coming down, they've got their traction grip. This is a rubber grip that's got some texture put into it. Nice flat spot, great for indexing. Every bow is gonna come with their kill shot. This is a vibration dampener on the front. Incidentally, I will tell you the 33 PSE specs say 4.6 pounds. I got 4.8 pounds, but when I took off the dampeners, then I got that 4.6 pounds. So that's, if you notice a discrepancy, that's it. Of course, you do have your 2 stabilizer options here. You got the kill shot in the bottom, stabilizer up front there. So we did things a little bit different this time. Just to, you know, folks seem to want to know the speed. We got that Garmin chronograph, so we figured, hey, let's build a 350 grain arrow and let's show what the speeds are. And then you can see how that matches up to the specs. Again, you know, as we stress the importance of whether you're at the peak of the module or not, that does make a difference. And then something that I like to do, this may be just for me, you can tell me, leave a comment below. You can tell me your thoughts about it, but when we started doing bow videos, we used to just put whisker biscuits on and shoot them at 6 feet. And then quickly I just discovered that really doesn't tell me anything about a bow. So we've been doing this for a while. Each one of these bows, every time we do one, the one that I shoot, I completely set that up. I tune it, I paper tune it, get it shooting bullet holes, and then I want to see what this thing does at distance. Nobody's going to shoot this at 6 feet without a sight on it. You're going to be shooting it out there while you're hunting. You're going to be shooting it long distance, TAC events. That's the rage these days. So I like to know what these things can do out at distance. That's why I set them up completely and come out here and we shoot. And so we figured we'd throw in a 100-yard challenge, because why not? Everybody likes to shoot 100 yards these days. So anyway, that's why we did it that way this time. And hey, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. All right, so that is the PSE Evolve DS bows from PSE for 2024. You are gonna have the 33 and the 30. Great performing bows, as always, from PSE and their flagship line. If you wanna see these bows and all the color options, including this, like I mentioned, this Cryptek Skyfall with the bronze accents, I really like that. If you want to see the options that are available, be sure to click the link in the description below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. And as always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at LancasterArchery.com.